The real feeling of positivity, the real delight that the point-to-point season is getting underway, and I'm delighted that Peter Wright, who's the Chief Executive of the Point-to-Point Authority, has been able to join us. Now, if you stand in front of, we're socially distanced, Peter, so that's your microphone.
Bob.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you, and lovely to see you. Pity that you couldn't have brought slightly better weather down to EastDevon today from your cosy HQ near Swindon.
Yeah, I would say this is normal weather I expect when I come down to the West Country, and actually this course always runs well, even with it. I totally take Lizzie's point, and that's how it'll run. But I know a lot of people like this course because they think it's safe for their horses as well. So yeah. I just think it'll run very well.
We get quite close to the action. Got quite squelchy, but I think that's inevitable when it's been. But it is actually, if you haven't been to Bishop's Court, Ottery St Mary, this whole area is lovely. The River Otter gives the local town its name, and also gave names to some of the most famous racehorses trained on this very turf. Otter Way, Ottery News, Ven Ottery, all trained by Oliver Carter, whose family has been much thanked today because they have given their land that they farm over for the point-to-point this afternoon. So, Peter, there's a real. We've talked to Jack Andrews, the leading rider of last year. We've heard from the secretary of the Devon and Cornwall area. There is this real positive feeling, isn't there, that here we are. We may be standing in the field in the middle of Devon and getting wet, but it's on.
Absolutely, and it's on 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Normal racing, and that was vital for us to keep going, because otherwise there was a risk horses would go to National Hunt or the season would never start. And so it was a bit of an existential threat, and I can't say.
So existential, that's a big word.
It is a big word, and I'm quite serious about it, because our numbers aren't as great as they might be, and if we lost many more, it would be quite serious. So, I'm very pleased that it got going. What was fascinating was he started thinking about this in March. And we did a survey then, and we ran in July, and everyone, owners and owner trainers, said they would have their horses up for early start. And I was slightly sceptical, but thought, right, we'll go for it. And they've done it. We had normally, when you come in at the beginning of the season, which will be 3 weeks later, we normally expect about 170 horses qualified. Last week, first time out, 360. So
and
a huge
here
increase.
Entries of 140 something.
140 here, 168 tomorrow in Maysmore, and declarations-wise, 89 here and 119 at Maysmore. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. In fact, more than that, it becomes a bit of a problem, to be quite honest. So,
and just give us, we're obviously concentrating on Ottery today, but a definitive Maysmore definitely on tomorrow?
I hope to, if I may, I'll come back later this afternoon. We added some extra complications were added last night. But
right.
The Ledbury are doing their best. They intend to run if they possibly can. So I will hope to have further news this afternoon.
Oh, well, please bring that to us. That would be good to hear. Now, we're on, but basically it's behind closed doors. There's a couple of hundred people here, sort of essential people, really. So I just get the feeling everyone's done well to just sort of sort out the regulations.
Absolutely. It's very easy for me sitting in my ivory tower to translate and create a whole lot of protocols, and that's that's my job. But I can't say my thanks and indeed my congratulations enough to the early fixtures secretaries and their teams who have pulled out blind to make this happen. There's somewhere in the region of 40 pages of protocols they've had to work through to make this happen. Now, that goes down into enormous detail. I mean, number cloths is an example where...
Yeah, there's some story about the number cloths coming from Newton Abbot to sort
absolutely.
Sort this place out.
There's an example where Devon and Cornwall have pulled out, and the Devon and Cornwall have managed to buy...
So what's the rule? What was the rate?
Well, now nothing may be used twice. So whether it's number cloths, whether it's jockey silks, you can only use it on the one horse. So, for example, jockey silks is another good example where actually, if you've got a horse in the ladies and in the men's, bad luck, you're going to have to use another set of silks if you haven't got your more than one. So there are all these things, and this is what the fixtures have had to work through. And the number cloths is a very good example where I understand we managed to buy some sets off Newton Abbot, Devon and Cornwall, which have made up the numbers for today, which is terrific.
And we're in two areas. Either we've got a green wristband or we've got an amber wristband, no red wristbands, thank goodness, but amber or green. So there's had to be work just on putting ropes around to make certain that people don't go in the wrong place.
Absolutely. I'm sure you've been scanning around, you've seen these double fences that create the gap, which have been terrific. Well done, EastDevon. Makes it very clear for everyone. Yes, the idea is that perhaps hopefully we'll get to 3 zones at some stage, but basically the green zone...
The third zone would be the public.
Indeed, the paying public. The idea being that the green zone is for participants and officials, and then the amber zone is for the owners. And I might add, there's a complication with point-to-point compared with under rules, which is that because the keepers aren't official, the owners are actually responsible for their horses when they run. So not allowing them complicates matters considerably if there has to be an inquiry or something.
So is that a problem as far as Maysmore is concerned?
It might be.
Right.
That's one of the things we're looking at.
If you're planning to go to Maysmore, they start at about breakfast time. What is it, 11 o'clock tomorrow? I think
So starting at 11.
Yeah, so if you are planning to go to Maysmore, check. Or planning to...
And I thank you for saying that, Cornelius, because I really reiterate, this is all season. You must keep looking at the website for updates. We'll do our best to get them out as soon as we know what's going on. But it's a fluid situation. Obviously, the local authorities and others are very twitchy about the growth, and they're always worried that volunteers can't perhaps, as an amateur sport, put in the regulations required. I might add, I'm sure you've looked around on the last race and looked and seen. The great advantage of point-to-pointing is that actually we're in a big field. There are no buildings as such. And there are no surfaces really to touch, very few. So as a result, the risk levels are extremely low anyway. Plus then we put in place the various requirements, reference, hand gel, masks and so forth. So I am absolutely confident that, frankly, going to a point-to-point is a lot safer than, for example, going shopping.
Well, look, well done for getting the season going, and well done to everyone here for getting this event on. I know that we'll be talking to you much more, perhaps during the afternoon, but certainly in the days and months ahead. That's Peter Wright, who is the Chief Executive of the Point-to-Point Authority. Now, the first